Good morning, good people, good world, good all, wherever the fuck you at. How you doing? So, on today's edition, well, that's kind of glossy, but I'd rather them be glossy than for them to be chapped like a motherfucker. But on today's edition of Vaughn's Car Chronicles, I wanted to talk to you guys about something, an article that I read. I read about this trend a couple days ago, and then this morning it was on CNN's top 5 things to start your morning, and it kind of video pause. Okay, yeah, I'm back now. But the situation is, let me buckle up, be around here hot boy in there. Ooh, look. There go the motherfucking police. Right as I spin the bin. The 12 is right there. Y'all see him up there flashing his lights and shit. But I got my motherfucking seatbelt on, 12, so leave me alone. Now, if I stop fully at this stop sign, it's a real question. But the trend that I'm talking about is home ownership and the ability to afford rent in the United States of America. Yo, what up, homie? There's an article out there that says the federal minimum wage is, I think, 7 something or 8 something. Even your state's minimum wage. Most states' minimum wage is only like $11, $12, somewhere around there. But what we have going on here, guys, is no one in these here continental United States of America, good old-fashioned America, as some people like to refer to it, nobody in America that's making minimum wage can afford rent in any city in America. Now, to some of us, that's not a big surprise. Excuse me. But to some people, that is a humongous surprise, because it's like, hey, we're told that if we go to work, get a good job, and work hard, that we'll be able to live and survive and be taken care of in this world. We'll take care of ourselves in this world. Well, every day we keep seeing examples of that being false. You literally have people that work 40 hours a week and cannot afford to pay rent or mortgage or a lease to where they live at. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised by this, because I work 40 hours a week. I do security, I do consulting, I do a juice business, plus I do, little odd jobs, ins and outs. People call me up, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, I've been known to do a demolition good job or two, when the time calls. But I know that I have to get money like that to be able to survive in this world. Now, these individuals that are surprised by this, they probably didn't have anybody close to them that was struggling on Section 8, or they probably just really disconnected from this. I spoke a couple videos ago about individuals growing up seeing people that consistently made 6 figures a year, not really understanding, what it is, to view somebody that isn't making 6 figures a year. Like, when you're inside that bubble, certain things are just not in your viewpoint. Now, to prove my point, I'm a straight heterosexual male. I know nothing about the gay world. Nothing. There could be plight and struggles in that thing that's going on that I probably would sympathize with or empathize with, but I know nothing about that world. Not saying I'm an asshole or nothing, but I just know nothing about that world. So the people that don't know that there's people out in the world that cannot afford rent, surprise. There are people in this world that work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And I'll take it up a notch. There are people that are above making minimum wage that are still struggling to afford rent, mortgage, whatever they're trying to get. Now, what are some of the reasons for this? Quite honestly, I can only speak to my area that I'm in, which is South Florida, and we've had a lot of individuals that have steadily over the years moved into this area, into this environment from, you know, Europe and foreign countries and other states that, you know, they're higher. The wages may pay higher because the cost of living is higher. So when they come down here, you know, their wages stretch a lot further because our cost of living may not be what it is in their particular area. People talk all the time about, oh, Atlanta got cheap real estate. Oh, I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. But what people fail to realize until they get to Atlanta is that, yeah, you may be able to buy a home or get some land for cheaper than you would, let's say, South Florida in Atlanta, but the quality of life you're going to pay, you're going to make up that difference what you paid in that house and your quality of life. And let me tell you, travel, because you got to drive 10, 15 miles everywhere. Shit, 10, 15 miles are better to get anywhere in Atlanta. Plus the traffic, and never mind that you got to pay for parking everywhere you go. Don't be no person that's trying to be going out, be hip, and have a decent quality of life. Whoa, buddy, you might spend $50 before you even get out your car. But to get back to my point, we have a situation where people have come into this United States of America and have, you know, increased the rent and leases and mortgage rates and basically the price of living, because their money stretches further, so they don't mind paying more. So realtors, you know, it's a simple business to them. You know, I got people that are willing to pay more. We'll sell to those that are willing to pay more. We got markets that have seen these individuals or people that have moved into certain areas, and the markets have just steadily changed because the realtors are saying, okay, well, you know what, I want to develop this affordable housing type in this area right here, but then they build these big grand projects that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to put together. Well, these developers have to get their money back, and they're not going to price these condos, these buildings at the rates that they were before. Now, mind you, the area that the areas that they are building these in sometimes are traditionally, you know, historically black communities. And when they build these super expensive high-rises, the people in the area cannot afford that. So naturally, they get pushed out. Well, what's happening now is that the people that are really you know, they really didn't care about the poor people and people that were getting public assistance getting shut out. But when you got people that are working hard, you know, hard jobs, and the article talks about minimum wage, but we all know people that are making above minimum wage that can't afford rent. We see them every day. We got some people that got 2 or 3 roommates. But you know, when these developers put these big high dollar developments in these urban communities, people cannot afford them. And now we're seeing that people that are working hard for a living can't afford this stuff. So now it's probably going to take for like the federal government to step in with some type of program, rent assistance or some shit. I know in New York they got god damn, I forget the term that they use when they can't change the prices on certain buildings, but gosh, I think it's fixed rent or some shit like that in some of these areas, but it's rare nowadays. But it does still happen. It is still a thing out there. But it's gonna take a change because incomes are not increasing. These businesses are not gonna pay more. We got a whole big shit show in our government behind $15 an hour minimum wage. And then we have an article where they're saying no one that is making the federal minimum wage can afford to live just about anywhere. So think about that. Like that's a big fucking wake up call, especially when, like I said, we got the government go chasing their tail, talking about, oh, we don't need $15 hour minimum wage. What about the business owners? Yes, I understand the business owners, and sure enough, as a business owner, I do understand that sometimes, you know, what's good for my employee may not be good for me. But if I do things in the proper way, it can be good for us all over the long run. Now, things may immediately not, you know, work out or be into where I want them to be as a business owner, but things will level out. But yeah, that's where we're at in this world, where people can't even afford rent. And I really made this video to kind of give you guys that are watching this shit a little bit of peace of mind, because I know a number of you out there are renting, are struggling, got roommates, maybe live with your parents, live with a roommate. Hell, some of y'all in relationships because you don't want to be, you know, I'm just leave it at that. Some of y'all don't need relationships because of the housing benefits. I get it. I get it. I get it. You're not alone. The reality is most of America is living like you. So don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad about it. Because like I said, hell, nobody working minimum wage can afford rent. Hell, I know some people that's making $40,000, $50,000 a year that are struggling to afford rent in South Florida. Come on, man. I know people with some prominent careers, some good paying jobs. Some of y'all would say they got 2 and 3 roommates in the house. They won't talk about it openly because they're ashamed. But the reality is there's no shame in it, because, you know, if everybody is experiencing this, you should not feel ashamed, because you're not alone. You're not unique. You're not the only one. You got people out there that are just like you. So yeah, that's why I made this video. To one, bring attention to the plight of what's going on in the rental market and the housing market in the United States of America, but also to speak directly to some individuals that may be feeling a certain type of way about their situation. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right, you're not alone. All right, and guys, trust me, I know my motherfucking lips is glossy and shining like a motherfucker, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Time to put my EOS lip balm on. Yeah, this is the same company I make the little ball, but I want for to walk around with that little ball in my pocket. Real men use, you know, traditional looking chapstick. All right, so I'm about to go take care of business for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like it, share it, comment on it. Like I said yesterday, if you guys got any topics that you want me to address, most common way to get my attention to that topic is just tag me on Facebook or whatever it is, or just drop it in my DM. However you want me to do it, get it to me. And you might see it on Vaughn's Car Chronicles. Thanks, guys. Love you guys. Peace. Be safe. Be easy.